Welcome back to Tuna versus, the series which puts me against the real life manager of your Premier League football team. It's been a interesting series so far. If you haven't seen it, do go and watch it before I spoil what sort of happened so far. So obviously, playlist is available on the channel. Go and watch it so far. We've done Manchester United, we've done Bournemouth, and we've done Leeds. So they've been interesting. It's currently 2-1 to the real life managers. We took the first one against Ten Hag and Manchester United, but then we got sacked from both Bournemouth and from Leeds. Now we've decided going forward we're going to make ourselves unsackable, and I'm not quite sure if it works, but I believe there's a way of making the AI manager unsackable as well. So both of us will get the full 5 years. So without further ado, let's go and find out who our fourth team is going to be. It's going to be Brighton and Hove Albion. Okay, this should be pretty interesting. Decent little squad. Let's go and set this save up and take a look what we're working with. So if we take a look at our squad page here, you can see we are in charge of Brighton and Hove Albion. Lewis Dunk is the captain, Lallana the vice-captain, Cucurella the key player, of course subject to bids for Man City in real life, but he's still here at the moment, and Evan Ferguson is our hot prospect. Wonderful training and youth facilities. We do need to work on our junior and youth recruitment now if we are looking to bring someone through that way. So yeah, I mean, if we just take a look at the squad, I haven't picked a tactic yet. They've got a pretty decent squad. Tariq Lamptey, I think, is a wonderful right back, potentially world-class right back. But the squad, most of the decent players are starting to age. Fortunately, they do have a decent young core coming through as well, though, so we can look to develop then and see what we can do. And we have £15 million to play with, and just about £1 million, sorry, £100,000 in the wage budget to play with. £1 million would be very, very nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, this should be pretty interesting to see what we can do in terms of the board. They want us to avoid relegation battle this season, 5th round of the FA Cup, 4th round of the EFL Cup. By the end of it, they just want us to be established in the Premier League. Now, I've seen how Brighton can do on Football Manager, and they generally overachieve. So I think the pressure could be on us here to beat Graham Potter. Yeah, it's going to be a tough challenge, but I'm going to go and see what we can do with this team in this first transfer window, and I'll be right back with you at the start of season number 1. So again, of our first transfer window, so no permanent outgoings, just a few youth players going out on loan. Kolowski, Carbonwick, Sarmiento, Encizio, Carter and Jenks all going out on loan. And the only permanent first team incoming that we brought in was Alfredo Morelos from Rangers for £12 million. Just adds that depth up top. I don't see Danny Welbeck the future at this club. I'm not renewing his contract, so we brought him in to challenge Trossard and Mopé in that attacking role, with eyes potentially getting someone in future or developing someone as well. As for the rest of them, Ryan Cassidy, Tim Abraham and Max Hagar are all youth players for the future. Now, we have played 4 games so far, and we beat Notts Forest on the opening day 3-1. Andy Zekri getting 2 goals and Mwepu with a penalty in the 22nd minute. Brennan Johnson pulling one back for Forest too late, 3-1, and a lovely victory to start us off. Before beating Wolves 2-0 in the second game, again Zekri scoring, and Alfredo Morelos this time with a penalty getting his first goal for the club. Then he got his first from open play in a 2-0 victory over Watford in the second round of the EFL Cup. Adam Webster getting the second goal before beating losing to Newcastle 2-1. Joelinton equalising after McAllister was ahead before Chris Wood, 85th minute penalty, gave Newcastle all 3 points, which means Premier League wise we're sitting rather pretty at the moment in 5th place. I'd be happy with that sort of form. I don't imagine Chelsea going to struggle all season. Currently 1 point from 3 games, drawing to Forest, losing to Tottenham and Liverpool. We're also above the likes of Manchester United and Tottenham themselves. So I expect them teams are definitely going to recover over the season. But yeah, top 10 is really my aim this season. Now, in terms of the tactics that we are playing, we're going with a custom vertical tiki-taka style, a 4-4-2 diamond. The other player actually getting all the game time being Caicedo in midfield. Don't know why Connolly's showing there. Caicedo in that defensive midfielder position. Lallana, according to our assistant manager, is the best player in there, but he is, 30 odd years old now. So we want to give that young player as much of a chance as possible and play as much as possible. So yeah, I think we're in a pretty good position so far. If we just take a look at the players playing, seems his manager's picked the core already. Moepa in there, Zachary obviously playing a lot. Two younger players as well. Morelos has played 3 games, scored 2, 1 assist. McAllister's playing all 4 as well. Adam Webster's playing all 4. Lana has played all 4, I'm guessing, in the centre of midfield. But the likes of him and Danny Welbeck, as mentioned, Pascal Gross, potentially Lewis Dunk are players that I'm going to look to move out. Dunk, not so much because he's 29, he's a fantastic player, he's our captain as well. I've learned from Leeds. So yeah, I think we're in a pretty good position going into this season. How can we do? Well, let's find out, shall we? So the end of our first season is here. You can see we finished in 14th position in the Premier League. That's very, very disappointing, in my opinion. Aston Villa, Newcastle and Nottingham Forest going down, only 41 points. 19 defeats, only 11 wins. But we did beat Manchester United, Chelsea and Tottenham in there. So, we can hang with the big guys. But yeah, it's just disappointing, really, isn't it? We should have been top half at least, especially with the likes of Chelsea having a poor season, Tottenham having a poor season. We should have taken advantage of that, really. Third round of the FA Cup as well to Derby County is absolutely unacceptable. Quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup to Man City, though, I'll take that. I definitely will take that. So if we just take a look at the schedule page, we beat Chelsea on penalties in the fourth round of the EFL Cup. We beat West Brom in the third round. Zachary Dunk, Trossard, Caicedo scoring the penalty. Lost 2-1. 88th minute Bernardo Silva winner is a little bit annoying. Drew 2-2 with Derby in the in the third round of the FA Cup, and Langham McGoldrick scoring for them there before 3-2 defeat in the replay. Disappointing again, just this run of form. December into January, we've seen it so often so far in this series. December and January, we just cannot get results. And it's very, very annoying. Heavy defeat to Tottenham in there. Heavy defeat to Liverpool as well in there. So yeah, a bit disappointing, but mid-table, I suppose we will take that. In terms of games played, Sanchez playing 44, Caicedo, who we put in, played 43 as well for Dunk, 41 for McAllister, 40 for Cucurella, 40 all in for Lamptey, 41 for Webster. So a good chunk of games being played. In terms of goals, Zachary and Morelos in double figures, 14 and 10 apiece. We need more goals from elsewhere. And assists, nobody into double figures. Trossard and McAllister getting 6 each. Average ratings are decent, but also average. So yeah, we need to improve, and we've been given only 29 million to spend this summer to try and improve. It's going to be a risk, but we'll see what we've got. We've got some pretty good young talent here. We'll see what we can get rid of as well in terms of all the players. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go and play this transfer window and see what we come back with the start of the second season. So our second transfer window has been done, and a lot of it was done last season before this season ticked over. Leandro Trossard has left us for £27.5 million gone to Napoli. A couple of the big names, Jor Veltman has gone to Nice, Danny Welbeck has gone to Cremonese, both on free transfers as well. Pascal Gross has gone to Werder Bremen for £205,000. And Timmy Abraham, who we got on free last season, 13.5k. Not as much money coming in as I liked. We need the players off the wage budget, and these were the only real offers that came in. Now, in terms of incomings and players, Thomas Isherwood was the first one from Darmstadt for £1.2 million. Now, he can play anywhere across that back line or as a wing back. A 24-year-old Swedish player, pretty good. Hopefully, he's going to develop well and see what he can do for us. He's already picked up a red card, though, which is a bit of a worry, in a sub appearance as well. But yeah, he's come in as well. Then a player that a lot of you Football Manager people might know is Vitinha from Sparta Braga for £20 million. It's a lot of money, but what a striker this is. He's a wonder kid in this game. Just look at his attributes in this position as well. He's a very, very good striker. And adds a bit more youth to the team as well. Musa Ndiaye was next from Barcelona B team, £500,000. He can play centre back or left back. He's out on loan at Astana at the moment because he hasn't got a work permit, but a very good, potentially good centre back. Hopefully, he can go and get some good first team football and get a work permit and come back and join us. Jose Juan Macias from Chivas was next up for £5.75 million. 22-year-old can play either on the wing or through the centre. Again, just adds a little bit of quality as well to us. But he's back on loan at Chivas for the season. That was part of the deal. It was the only real way we could get him in, so we sent him back out on loan. Thiago Jalo was next from Lille for £4.4 million. Again, a centre back. We've lost a couple of big players there, so we brought in some new stars, some fresh blood. And he's another player that I think could potentially develop for us. Manuel Ugarte from Sporting for £1.7 million. Central midfielder or defensive midfielder, mainly going to be defensive midfielder. 21 years old. This guy's got bags of potential. He's just solid, if unspectacular player at the moment. A two-footed though is very nice as well. So yeah, hopefully he can come in and do a job for us as well. And Josh Brookin on a free transfer from Chelsea. This one is more on an eye for the future. Versatility as well. He's going to have to develop well if he wants a future here, but if not, we should be able to sell him on for some profit. And we have made one signing that doesn't actually join us for a couple of years. If we just go to the incomings, Jorge Moreno from Osasuna has joined us, £525,000. He's a new gen, and I thought he looked very, very good. And he was one that the scouts recommended to me as well. So we brought him in, but he doesn't actually join us for a couple of years. So he's basically a loan back for 2 years, if you think about it. Hopefully he develops well while he's out there. Now, tactically, we've gone for a bit of a change here. We've dropped us to another centre-back. We've got 5 at the back. I don't know why that's changed. We actually want these to be both complete wing-backs on attacks. So using the width there where possible. Trying to keep it tight as well. And let's actually just switch these over to overlap. I have been tweaking, and we've had a very, very poor start to the season. Haven't won a game yet. We lost 2-1 to Brentford on the opening day. Morelos scoring for us, equalising after Janat put them ahead, but Josh De Silva scored the winner. We then lost 2-1 to Tottenham in the Carabao Cup. Kane and Højbjerg putting them ahead after Dyer own goal gave us the lead. Isherwood, that was the game where he was sent off in. Neil Maupay picked up an injury as well. Then a 2-0 defeat to them in the league. Son and Mariano in 2 minutes in the first half gave them a comfortable victory. And then another battering in the hands of Manchester United. Zapata with 2, Bruno Fernandes and Aaron Wan-Bissaka scoring. Mulder scoring for us. And then a 1-0 defeat to Fulham. This one is very, very annoying. These are games that we need to be winning. But Andres Pereira gives Fulham the only goal of the game, and we are sit bottom of the league. The only team without a point at the moment, so we need to turn things around. And turn things around quickly, because so far this season, they want us to be mid-table. We've already failed the EFL Cup. They want 5th round at the FA Cup. We need to kick on. We really need to kick on. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. For us, Premier League season preview-wise, we were predicted to be 14th place. And based off the start of the season, I would take that. I really would take that. Yeah, a lot of work to be done. Let's go and see what the assistant manager can conjure up during this second season. So our second season has been a pretty big disappointment. 3rd round of the FA Cup loss to Birmingham. 2nd round of the Carabao Cup defeat to Tottenham, which we saw 16th place in the league, below the likes of Norwich and Fulham. It hasn't been great. We've only won 8 games all season, 11 draws. It's a worry. It is a worry. I think if we hadn't put unsackable on, we probably would not have a job left. Yeah, I mean, let's just take a look how the FA Cup game went against Birmingham, shall we? It was 1-1. We lost on penalties. Dunk missing the crucial penalty. Zachary put us ahead. Scott Hogan equalised just after half time. In terms of players, games played, 40 for Moda and Sanchez and Zachary and Van Hecke and McAllister as well. Seema Connolly, Undar, Mitoma and Chirpin not playing any games at all. I think they have just come back off loan though. Zachary hitting 12 goals, Vitinha hitting 10. I mean, just a general lack of goals in total. That's very, very poor. Assist-wise, McAllister 7. The highest assistee. We're going to have to bring in some real quality. We'll maybe have to let some of these players go to fund it. We have got 46 million to spend though. Yeah, I'm going to go and attempt to spend this money and see if we can improve this team. Because we are in big trouble if we carry on like this. So our second transfer window is done. Ed Turns being the only permanent outgoing for £350,000 last season. A couple of players going out on loan as well. Obviously before the season ticked over. But we did sign a couple of players who signed Facundo Torres from Orlando City with 5 million, rising to 6.25 million. Again, could play anywhere across that front line. We had to move quickly to secure his signature because West Ham wanted him. And again, I think he's got bags of potential. He's a pretty solid player already anyway. Then Daniele Rigani. Yes, him. Pretty good centre-back, obviously, formerly of Juventus. Played a couple of times for Italy. Joined us from Fiorentina. He's a very, very good centre-back in there. We needed to shore up there a little bit, I thought so. 11.25 million, rising to 13.5, and then another centre-back signing. We signed him in the Manchester United one. It's Anel Ahmed Hodzic from Sheffield United. Again, very, very good centre-back. Will probably play more here than he did for us in Manchester United, but 11.75 million, rising to 12.5 million. Now, we've gone for a tweak here. We've gone for a controlled possession, 4-3-3 with the defensive midfielder and the wide players. Hoping it's going to help us this season because we haven't really bought people in, so we have still got a very, very young squad. Hoping that they are going to do the business for us, and so far it's been mixed. We drew 1-1 with Everton in the opening day. Vitinha scoring for Ben Rama, equalising in the 29th minute. Then we got absolutely torn apart by Leicester. Moda scores for us. Harvey Barnes with a hat-trick. Daka and CH scoring as well. Yeah, ouch. Before beating Portsmouth 4-1 in the EFL Cup second round, 2 from Vidina, 1 from Zachary, and 1 from Mugati. So we've got Stoke in the next round. Premier League wise, our season preview is 18th place, so they're predicting us to go down, and that's currently where we are. I'm hoping we've got enough to stay up. The club vision is to avoid relegation, 5th round of the FA Cup, and 4th round of the EFL Cup. Can we hit them targets? Let's go find out. So our third season has come to an end, and it's been a better season. It has been a bit of a better season. 15th place in the league, 40 points this time around. 8 points clear saved. We've got a semi-final of the FA Cup, defeat to Arsenal. 3rd round of the Carabao Cup was a little bit disappointing, but we are slowly improving. 10 wins, 10 draws, 18 defeats. That's a lot of draws again. Draws to the likes of Tottenham, Manchester United, Liverpool in there. We beat Tottenham as well, so unbeaten against Tottenham this season, a double over Brentford. We beat Arsenal as well, so a double over Forest in there. So it's been okay. It has been okay. If we just take a look at the fixtures again, you can see sort of a bit of rough run. The 7-1 defeat to Man City. Ouch. That is painful, but it was a penalty defeat to Stoke. Moises Caicedo missing the only penalty of the shootout. Enough to see us go out. It's an 18th minute equaliser from Coulson as well. It's another late goal that we conceded. We had to have a replay to beat both Birmingham and Wolves. 1-1 against Birmingham in the first leg, Facundo Torres scoring all 3 goals in that time. Then 2-2 against the Wolves, Ozati and Undev in the first leg, and then Messias and Caicedo in the replay to give us the victory 1-0 over Burnley from Vitinha, extra time win over Middlesbrough in the quarterfinals before a 2-0 defeat to Arsenal in the FA Cup final. Gabriel and Maxi Gomez scoring for them. But there's definitely some improvement in this team. And it's shown here in the goals as well. 3 players hitting double figures, Vitinha, Facundo Torres and Andy Zekri, all getting double figures. Messias also getting 6 goals in there. Assist-wise, 7 from Torres, 7 from Cucurella. So, the spread around the team, nobody's having loads of assists. But yeah, it's an improvement. And like you say, it's a relatively young team, which is sort of by age. Dunk, who did play a lot of the games, is the oldest player at 32. Regani as well, 29. But most of them are sort of either not yet in the prime or just hitting their prime. So I think we're in a pretty decent place here. I really do. Maybe we'll look at moving the likes of Neil Maupay on. He hasn't played a game this season. He's actually wanted by a couple of teams. So if we can cash in on him, then we probably will do. I'll just take a look at some of the players that haven't played much and see what we can get for them. In terms of incomings, we have got 43 million to spend, so we will take a look at what we can do with that. We've got 2 seasons left of the challenge, and I would like to win a cup competition by the end of this, and hopefully back in that top half. So I'm going to go and play this transfer window and see what we can do. I'll be right back with you. So we once again go back to last season for some incomings and outgoings. We've been busy this season. Marcus Ilfey is left on a retransfer to Grimsby. Neil Maupay went to Watford for £1 million. Aaron Connolly to QPR for £7.5 million. Elliot Jenks out on loan. But Alex McAllister went to Chelsea for £50 million. I didn't particularly want to sell him, but £50 million, we could not say no for that. And I think we've replaced him pretty well. But yeah, incredible offer. Is he going to get the game time at Chelsea? That is the question. You will come to someone in a minute that moved there and did not get the game time. But on the incomings for us, Jorge Moreno has joined us. He was a youth contract. We've signed him on a permanent transfer from Sabitzer. Again, very, very promising. One for the future. We brought him in at £525,000 in total. Then Conrad de la Fuente from Marseille for £6 million has joined us to play on either wing or up top if we need him to. Again, he's promising. He's been someone that we wanted a couple of years ago and could not get the deal through, so we finally managed to get that confirmed. Rooney Bargi, I believe is how you pronounce his name, from Copenhagen for £10 million, potentially rising to £12 million. He's already played 3 times for Sweden. He's 18 years old. He's pretty solid already and bags of potential again, either wing or through the centre. I'm looking forward to see what this guy can do. I've tried to sign him on a couple of saves before, a couple of offside personal saves. This is a player that I really, really rate. Then the player that's replaced McAllister, Ianis Hadji from Rangers, £18.25 million again, can play on either wing or through that centre. A pretty good player, and of course, son of a famous dad. Hopefully he's going to do the business for us here. Now, moving on to when the season ticked over, a lot of more outgoings. Alfredo Moraes went to Spartak Moscow for £10.5 million. A couple of free transfers and a couple of younger players, all even cheap. Hayden Roberts left us for £1.4 million. Thiago Jalo for £2.7 million. Abdillah Seema for £6.75 million to Victoria Pleasant. Regani has left us for £16.25 million to Dinamo Kiev. Cruz Azul came in from Mawepo, £4.9 million, and Teddy Jenks to Genk for £6 million. So £51 million in incomings once the season transferred over. And we bought in Faustin Ongerin from Chelsea for £50 million. Again, you can see where we're trying to strengthen. We've had a change in tactic, and you'll see why. He moved to Chelsea from Newcastle. He did move to Newcastle from Cardiff in the game. Didn't play much. So he was on loan at Newcastle and Cardiff. He's been at Chelsea for 6 years. Only played 10 games. We brought him in. Hopefully we can give him a new lease of life and get him playing. Adam Hozek next from Sporting CP, £9 million. Either on that left wing or up top. He comes in as a wonder kid, basically. Hopefully he can do good for us. You can see he's only scored 3 goals in 4 games, so he's done well so far. Dwight McNeil was the one that I was on about earlier on. He moved from Burnley to Chelsea. We signed him for 28 million, potentially rising to 30 million. Only played 5 games last season. You can see he's almost played that already for us. It's a player that I really, really rate. We've signed him on one of these saves already. We've got him once again, and hopefully he can help fire us onto glory. Then Alfred Doherty and Solomon Obergil were youth players, once again, as was Reggie Perdigim. But another one that we signed in was Paxti Aguirre. Again, a young player, young Spanish player, can play either side defence or the holding midfielder player. And you can see that we're signing a lot of players from Ibiza. Obviously, Aguirre. We got Jorge Moreno last season. I think Moreno was the one that we did the deal for, and we had to wait for it to come through. So that's a couple of players signed from them already. If we just go to the ins, you can see we've got another 2 young players, this time both joining from Celta Vigo. Carlos was a centre-back or a holding midfielder, and Angzo, who's just so versatile, but these won't join until the end of this save. But I think just players of this sort of quality, we have to make moves for, and especially when they are so cheap, just over £1 million, both of them. You can see we're trying to sign Anthony Cavani as a coach. We're just waiting for his work permit to come through. £22 over our wage budget. Let's just tweet that. Still got £6 million to spend should we choose. Now for the tactic, we've gone for a more attacking style because we've got all of these quality attacking players. 2 wing backs looking to get forward. We're looking to have both centre-backs. One's a deep line playmaker, the other's a ball-winning midfielder. Defensively solid here, hopefully. With the wings being attacked, the 2 inside forwards tucking in, and the second striker getting up alongside our advance forward. Now, has it paid off? Let's take a look, shall we? In a way, we drew 2-2 with Fulham on the opening day. Gakpo put them ahead, Messias equalised. Malin put them 2-1 ahead, and Zekri in the 94th minute earned us a point. We then scored 4 goals in a cracker against Aston Villa. Hlozic put us ahead in the 3rd minute. Edouard equalised. Zekri got a hat-trick. Jacob Ramsey scored 2 for Villa. Tyler Adams sent off them. But a penalty defeat to Stevenage. What is it with us and penalties? Zekri and McNeil both missing their penalties as we went out. Hlozic scoring in this one as well to equalise after Jordan and Roberts put them ahead. And then a point against Chelsea is a pretty good one. Hlozic once again scoring to put us ahead. And Raheem Sterling equalising this time. So a good point there against Chelsea. We're currently sat in 8th place, 5 points from 3 games. Season preview wise, they expect us to be 13th, so mid-table. I'd be very, very happy with that. They want us to work towards a that's next season. They want us to be mid-table, 5th round of the FA Cup, and we've already gone out to the Carabao Cup in the 4th round, which they're disappointed about, and yeah, I'm pretty disappointed with that as well. Right, let's go and sim this 4th season and see what we can do. So at the end of our 4th season sees a much improved year in the league. 6th place for us, behind Chelsea, Arsenal, Leicester, Manchester City and champions Liverpool. 4 points behind Chelsea, 2 ahead of West Ham, above Tottenham and Manchester United as well. Quarterfinals of the FA Cup is a pretty good run as well. So let's just take a look at the FA Cup, which was won by Everton. In that 3rd round, we got Swansea, we beat them 2-1. The 4th round, 4-0 over Sunderland. 5th round, we beat Man City 2-1 as well. That's a lovely result. For an extra time, 4-2 defeat to Manchester United, who lost to Brentford on penalties in the semi-finals. I think if we'd managed to get past Manchester United there, we'd have probably stood a good chance of winning that. Obviously, the Carabao Cup, the 2nd round to Stevenage, is incredibly disappointing. Chelsea winning that on penalties over Liverpool. But if we take a look at the Premier League, you can see we qualified for the Europa Conference League this season. 19 wins, 7 draws and 12 defeats. is a wonderful season for us this time around. And if we just take a look at the squad, you can see plenty of players getting game time. Facundo Torres, he's been a key player, and Vitinha over the past couple of seasons. You can see they've dropped off massively in terms of game time. Vitinha is just coming back from an injury. Did that keep him out for the majority of the season? What was it? It was a damaged kneecap, and not particularly, no. He has had a couple of injuries, but yeah, he's just been kept out by better players, really. And one of them being Zekri with 20 goals this season, McNeil hitting 17, and Angerin getting 13. So 3 players in double figures this time around. And double figures for assists as well. McNeil with 12, 11 for Bargy. Wonderful performance from them too as well this season. I think we've got a very, very good squad here. We are going to have to improve the depth a little bit with European football next season. And to do that, we have been given a grand total of £62.5 million to spend. That's a lot of money to add to what is a pretty young squad. Lewis Dunk, the only player over 30, and he still played 25 games this season. Decent average rating. We will perhaps look to replace him. But yeah, we've got a very good squad here in place. And yeah, I'm excited for this season coming to see what we can do. Can we win a bit of silverware? Can we maybe challenge for top 4 in our final season? Let's go do these transfers and find out what we're working with for next year. So the transfer window has been completed, and only one major incoming or outgoing, and it was incoming, it was this guy. Michel Rangel joined us from Tottenham, 40 million potentially rising to 55 million. He can play anywhere across that back line. He just has a bit of depth and a bit of potential as well. 19-year-old Mexican. Played twice for Tottenham after signing from Lyon. He's played once for us as well. But yeah, it's just that depth and quality. We kept the squad together. Like I say, it was a young squad, full of potential, so we have kept them all together. This has been the only deal that we have done. In terms of club vision, they want us to reach a semi-final of the Conference League, mid-table in the Premier League, 5th round of the FA Cup, 4th round of the EFL Cup. So let's take a look at how things have gone, shall we, so far. We drew with Bournemouth on the opening day. This was a bit disappointing. Stuart Dallas put them ahead. A minute later, Angerin equalised. 2 points dropped, in my opinion. We should have been beaten at Bournemouth. And then we compared a 10-2 aggregate win over Servette in the qualifying round of the Europa Conference League. 6-1 in the first leg, rough scoring for them. McNeil, Avali's own goal, and Zekri all scoring, with Bargy getting a hat-trick. And then in the second leg, it was 4-1, Nikosi scoring for them, Zekri, Casido, Amahodic, and Hlozic all scoring for us. Comfortable victory for us there. In between that, we lost 3-2 to Southampton. Gallagher, Diallo and Bednarek scoring for Southampton. Zekri and Van Hecke scoring for us. Again, points dropped. We probably should have been beating them. But we did beat Wolves. Dunk and Hadji scoring for us. Morgan Gibbs-White scoring for Wolves. Gives us 4 points from 3 games and keeps us mid-table at the moment. Above Manchester United and Tottenham and Arsenal and Chelsea. So you expect them to pick up points going forward. But there is potentially a chance to move up in the league, and I think we have the quality to take a step forward. Now, Europa Conference League, we've been drawn with Denise, Aris and Mura, I think is how you pronounce them all. It's a group we should be winning. We should be winning this comfortably, and if we just take a look at the group stage, I'm just looking to see if there's any major teams in there. Marseille are a decent team, and Lech are a decent team. Lech Poznan are a decent team. Sevilla, Atalanta. But we should be competing at the business end of this competition without a doubt. One thing to note, because obviously this game came out before the updated Champions League, Europa League, Conference League details came out, that is not reflected in the game. Even if we go to the Champions League, I don't believe it's reflected. It's not. It's still the typical group stage there. So obviously, if we did this again next year's edition of the game, things would change at this point. Now, tactically, things have not changed. We stayed with this formation. The only thing that has changed is we moved the deep line playmaker to support, so on defend duty. That's the only change to the tactic. It worked fantastic for us last season. Why change something that isn't broken? And then just finally, before we simulate this final season, the season preview as us in 12th place. I'd be disappointed with that. I want to be top 8 once again. Newcastle coming back up, Leeds coming back up, and Watford coming back up this season. Let's just go and see how things go, shall we? See if we can get Champions League football? Let's find out. So our final season is finished. Let's see how we got on, shall we? We 15th in the league is disappointing. We've won a competition. Brighton and Hove Albion have won the Europa Conference League, 5th round of the FA Cup defeat to Leeds, quarter-final of the Carabao Cup defeat to Chelsea. We don't care, look at that, we won a competition. Disappointment in the league to have dropped off, but only 10 points off 6th really. Isn't that bad. 18 defeats is a little bit of a worry. But yeah, I mean, we've had extra games to play. We really have extra games to play. Let's just take a look at that Europa Conference League, shall we? We've just seen the final there. We finished top of our group. 1 defeat. We lost to Aris, but we won all 5 of our games elsewhere. So we need to go to the second round where we beat Banik Ostrava 8-5 on aggregate. So we must have lost the first leg 3-0, but then 8-2 in the second leg. Wowzers. That is a huge win. 7-1 victory over Copenhagen in the quarterfinals. A 2-0 first leg win. 5-1 in the second leg. Semi-final, we got drawn against Atalanta. 2-1 victory in the first leg. 1-1 in the second leg gives us a 3-2 win. Meeting Marseille in the final, where we drew 1-1 but won on penalties. Finally, a penalty shootout victory in this series. If we just take a look at the final, Logic has a goal disallowed. Hadji scored a penalty, interestingly, to put his head. Sula equalised in the 90th minute before we scored all 4 of our penalties. They missed 2, scored 1, gives us a 4-1 victory in the final. Shall we take a look at the goals? Just to celebrate the bitter silverware in the final. So as I mentioned, we took the lead with Hadji a penalty, keeping us the right way, but puts it into the bottom corner. Lovely taken goal. And then Marseille hit us back when Duzi played in Mbemba, drilled across Sula, easy finish really. Defence non-existent for that goal, made it 1-1. And then into the shootout, Angerin bottom corner put it ahead. Kovalenko was here, actually hit the crossbar. Wow. Logic then fired in. Wonderful penalty to make it 2-0. Enrique then hit the post to make it 2-0. Wow. Hadji already scored in the game. Same side, scores once again for 3-0. Gerson had to score and does. Keeper unlucky, really. And then Moda scored the penalty to give us some silverware. Europa Conference League, I'm so happy about that. I do feel this young team has deserved to win something, and to see us actually get it is lovely. FA Cup wise, it was won by Wolves, beating Liverpool in the final. Third round, we had to have a replay and extra time to beat Bristol City. Again, a bit of a worry there. Before another replay to beat Lincoln. These are teams that we should be beating. And lost 2-1 to Leeds in the 5th round. Carabao Cup. Liverpool won this, beating Man City in the final. Obviously, we entered the 3rd round because we're in Europe. We beat Birmingham 3-2. Before that 4th round, we beat West Brom 2-1. Quarterfinals, we lost 2-1 to Chelsea. I mean, you'd accept that, wouldn't you? Before, like I say, Liverpool beating Man City in the final. Let's just take a look at the players to wrap this up. Goals-wise, 31 for Angerin. That is why we signed him from Chelsea. What a season for him. 14 for Zekri, 12 for Bargi, 12 for Fatinia. He didn't play much last season. He hasn't played much this season, really. So 12 goals. Incredible return from him. Logic getting 11, McNeil getting 11, and Hadji getting 10. So, I mean, good chunk of players in double figures. And 4 players in double figures for assists as well. McNeil with 19. 30 goal contributions in total, 28 for Hadji, including 18 assists, 25 for Bargi, 13 assists, and 10 for Cucurella, all of them being assists. Wonderful, wonderful season for this young team. And again, if you just look at the players, there's only really Lewis Dunk that is reaching the end of his career. We're just starting to hit our prime. We just need to do a little bit better in the league, really, and I think we'll be in a good place. And had we continued this, we do have, I think it was 42 million to spend. So yeah, 41.5 million that we would have had to spend should we carry on, and obviously the Europa League football. But 145 seasons for us, but only one trophy. Can Graham Potter do better? Let's find out. So we're 5 years in, and I believe we managed to have fixed the AI manager getting sacked. However, one thing I didn't anticipate was he resigned. Graham Potter, he did make to 2025, so he only missed one season. But yeah, he resigned to go and manage England. So yeah, I did not anticipate that really. But nevertheless, let's look how he did in the first couple of seasons. He got knocked out in the EFL Cup second round to Brentford in the first year, and the third round of the FA Cup to Aston Villa. Second season cup-wise, Reading in the first round of the EFL Cup, well, second round. FA Cup, he made it all the way through to the final before being beaten by Leeds in the final 3-1. Third season now, he got to the EFL Cup final where he lost to Arsenal. So more success than me getting to finals, but losing them here. Fourth round of the FA Cup defeat to West Ham. And then his final season was here, where he got knocked out to the EFL Cup in the third round to Man City. And the FA Cup in a replay to Tottenham, and then he resigned sort of around here. So yeah, no cup competitions won. In terms of the league, first season was 14th, then 16th, so that same sort of drop that we saw. 17th in his third season, and his final season they did finish in 14th. So it's sort of a similar trajectory to what I had really, and then this recent season they finished in 16th. So yeah, that was interesting. I've just noticed as well, Leicester got relegated but qualified for the Europa League, which they did by winning the Europa Conference League. So yeah, that's something that happened. But yeah, I just did not anticipate him resigning, so I'm not 100% sure if we have fixed the manager getting sacked or not. We will, I suppose, find out in the next one, potentially, depends who it is, obviously. One thing that I've been asked for is, let's just take a look at the transfers that he did. So first season, he also brought in Isco. He copied me with that one. He also brought in Jaroslav Rosicky on a free transfer. Courtney House from Aston Villa. Aubameyang was a very interesting signing. Moy Gomez, Ben Elliott, Louis Sibley, and Daniel Everson. Going out Adam Webster to Leicester for 30.5 and Everson. That was a big sale in that first season. Interesting. Second season, also brought in Facundo Torres. So, you know, a couple of similar ones in there. Kasper Dolberg's a good signing. Glenn Kamara. Ethan Ennis from Manchester United. Alejandro Pozo, Mateus, Bernabe, Vargas, James Shackleton from Leeds. Sebastian Caceres and Seko Fofana came in. Outgoing wise, any big ones, Trossard to Aston Villa for 18.5. Andy Zachary clearly not having the same impact for Potter as he did for me, going to Reading for 5.25 million. Again, some interesting ones. No massive name really this season. Matthew Target, probably the biggest one. He was the biggest money signing. Callum Kavanagh, Samila Koulibaly, Henry Francis from Arsenal, Elise from Chelsea, and Sorinola from Union SG. Outgrins Kukurea went to Manchester United for 58 million. It's a big sale. Got a lot more from Mopay than I did. 18 million to Asakihir, I think. Moy Gomez also left, as did Mateus and Rosicky, all players that they signed. Courtney House and Aubameyang as well. And then what would have been his final few signings, Abda, Marcos Andre, Ferro, and Oscar Malnado, all coming in. Again, not really players that I know, so Jacob Moda to Burnley, Caceres to Norwich, Aaron Connolly to Watford, and then the final season, which obviously he wasn't in charge for, you can see the transfers there. Interestingly, Fernando Torres actually came in and then got sacked, so not a great start to management. Fernando Torres there. Graham Potter, how is he doing at England? has he managed much at England? 8 games, 6 wins, 2 defeats. So, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Was Southgate sacked? Southgate resigned. Mancini came in and then also resigned after lasting a year. Southgate is now at Wolfsburg, and Mancini's unemployed for going to Borussia Dortmund. So, yeah, like I say, I wasn't quite expecting him to resign. I suppose I should have expected it. With being Graham Potter, he does tend to be highly rated for England job. But yeah, I suppose that makes it 2-2. We won a trophy. Potter, unfortunately for him, did not. So yeah, 2-2. And it's going to be interesting to see who our next team is. Can we take the lead? We'll have to find out next week. Thank you very much for watching. Like I say, if you've enjoyed this, please do like this video. Subscribe for the rest of this content. We've got more content coming on the channel as well. The Battle of the Bosses are releasing once again. So take a look at them. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.